Thank you very much. My name is Elise Habimana. I'm a coordinator of this team. As a group, we were focused on the project which is called Culture Dynapathy under the Comfort Culture Goal. On myself, I worked on two cultures which are um, Hawaiian poi and Japanese rice, as well as my own culture which is called Awajumba culture. In Hawaiian, uh, poi used as the main significant in their culture because they believe that they are originated from the same island with poi or with taro as the raw materials used when they are producing poi. Also, um, they take poi as one of the four gods, where they said that it helped them to give them sunshine as well as life giver. In addition, they said that poi helped them to sit together when they are shaking like corns. Uh, Instead of Hawaiian poi, also I worked on Japanese rice, where I found that it is difficult to find any it is difficult to find any family who are not eating rice because all meal of Japanese contain rice. Again, Japanese rice helped Japanese during the during the ancient time because it was used in their trades during exchanging it from other products. Moreover, Japanese rice was used by soldiers during the battle in the Second World War because some civilian people used to eat other food instead of eating rice so as to keep rice for Japanese soldiers. Uh, this part of Japanese rice, also I worked on my culture, which is called our Jomba culture. Also in our culture, um, there are food and drinks, also animals that are significant in our culture. Starting on Urguagua or banana beer, we use the Urguagua in many ceremonies so as to increase our thought as well as ideas. Also, um, in our culture, cows have more significance because when you are friends with another person, in order to strengthen your friendship, you give him or her a cow. Moreover, cows are used more importantly in giving dowry for the parents of a bride, so as to give them like thanks because they gave you their girl. Also, in our culture of our Jomba culture, we mainly eat imyumbati so as to symbolize that we have strength of doing everything. As a reader in this group, I, I found that no one can't be a reader because I read this group as well as reading my topic of Japanese rice and a Hawaiian poi. So thank you very much. I can give floor to Irumba Claude. So before giving him floor, someone who have a question can ask.
So thank you so much, Elise. You really explained different cultures in our your culture called the Wazomba, Hawaiian poi, and Japanese rice. But um, I've got different questions. So, how do you manage to get those information since you are from Rwanda? You don't know what you like. I don't know if you traveled and go there and get information. So, I would like to know more information on how you get to know information from Hawaiian poi, Japanese rice, and something like that. Some clarify those questions.
Thank you very much, Irumba, for a good question. Uh, in order to know those information, I remember in 2018 uh, when I was when I was in Karongi. I make like a long distance travel with a Hawaiian person where we used to share ideas about our culture. He told me that is the reason why he told me all of the culture about Hawaiian, where he told me that they ate rice. Mm, Also, I tried to search Google to find more information, and I really found that the information that he gave me was totally same as I found on the Google. Also about Japanese rice, uh, in 2018, I worked on the Japanese company and I met with a Japanese person who was called Akihiro. Uh, I asked him why always we ate rice, always rice, and he told me more about rice and why it is more significant in their culture. Also about our Jomba culture, I approached my grandfather, my parents, as well as attending more ceremonies of our culture. Thank you very much. So Ilumba can go to the next.
So thank you so much, Elise, for clarifying the points. Also, I've worked on different cultures, including Tringit Poltrach, tailgating at football games, and as well as my culture called Awanyidine. So starting from first culture, which is called Tringiti Poltrach, I have found that Tringiti Poltrach are the culture from people in Alaska, United States, where people are lovingly showing much respect through culture called Poltrach. Poltrach is a culture of gift giving. So if I have something and I find you like having nothing, I approach you and help you by giving you something. I can give you like a cow. I can give you something related to what you need. So it was like most significant in this culture. In Tringiti Postrach, like they used to celebrate different events, including naming young stars, wedding in a wedding ceremony. So in those events, they used to demonstrate that culture called Potrach. In Potrach, they give themselves different gifts, including like clothes and everything and others. So mainly they were characterized by Potrach as gift giving culture. So also in this culture they used to eat salmon fish because they live near water bodies, especially in Pacific Ocean. So that's why they used to eat that kind of fish called salmon fish because they live near water bodies. Also eating salmon fish symbolize that they have unity and respect in the family because many were supposed to go there and hunt for fishes, and the women were supposed to prepare fishes and to be ready and eaten by children and father. So it symbolizes gender in the family because they share different works. So apart from Trinket Portrait, I've worked also on tailgating at football games. So tailgating at football games means gather together in football parking, like stadium parking, and share different foods and drinks so as to be ready and go in stadium to fund their teams. So it was like culture in United States where people like socialize in different ways by eating and celebrating before going in stadium and have fun. So they usually eat different foods, including burgers, including chocolate, uh, including beer. So they share different foods before game in order to socialize and be ready to go in and fun in their teams. So to eat and drink before match means to take a part in their team's victory. So they believe if they eat and drink before game, they are taking part or they are contributing to their team's success. So it's what they believe. So apart from that culture, I also worked on my culture called Awanyiginya, where I have found that in Awanyiginya, uh, Awanyiginya first there was a clan among 18 clans of Rwanda, where there were clans of kings. All kings from Rwanda were found in that Awanyiginya culture. That's why they were very respectful than any other clans in Rwanda. So I also found that in our Nyiginya culture, people like to eat mixture of cassava, yams, and beans. So through eating mixture of cassava, yams, and beans, they are demonstrating strength in the family because they believe if you eat those mixture of food, you really show productiveness in your day, in your daily activities. They also share umusururu or sorghum beer in order to share ideas. Also, it symbolizes the like strength or different things because uh, they usually share those kind of drinks in different events like wedding, naming youngsters, um, in like in the burial, like if someone has death, so they usually share those drinks to share to demonstrate unity and love among in the culture. So they also like to share milk because they like cows. They take cows as like richness among the culture. So that's all I have worked on my culture. So I think Gashem have a question to ask or any other in the group can go ahead and ask me different questions.
So thank you so much. I have really amazed of how you worked on your task. Uh, so I have had a simple question. So as you have been clarifying the two cultures different to yours, um, I like the way they behave in symbolizing something. So what like a key takeaway, or if you wish, something that you could engage in your culture from those two culture that is not among yours.
So thank you so much. In my culture, like uh, if I try to relate getting at football games there in United States, so they like to share different foods and drinks before games. So in Rwanda they don't. So I could love to see those kind of culture in my country because I really I think it's really good because it helps them to socialize in their culture as well as also sharing love between before going to fund their team. So that's all I can answer. So I also want to add, as a reader in my group, I run different things because I read my topics, which were to talk about three different cultures. I read them and finally I have them done. So that's why I feel like I can be a reader because I read also those the kind of things. I also I can also love to see you presenting your culture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Claude, for giving me the floor. Um, Actually, I was supposed to work on the two cultures plus mine. The first one is the something that I practiced on the Hindu wedding ceremony. The food that I used in that ceremony. So, firstly, they they are like the three main foods that I found are commonly eaten in the Hindu wedding ceremony. First one is the rice. So rice is considered as the strength of the two persons that are going to be married at the time. So again, I found that coconuts cannot be missed on the table chart of the chart table of the Hindu wedding. So I I found that coconut fruit are considered are eaten there to show that the marriage has been blessed. So again, I found that cumin seeds are eaten there to show the two married people that they will be facing with the bitterness, even the sweetness in their life that they are going to take together. So moving forward, uh, I was supposed to be working on another culture is that I found in Pennsylvania country. So in Pennsylvania, there are two main foods that are commonly eaten there. So especially on the first day of the year. First one is pork. Um, even though according to the resource I read, even though pork is a symbol of some unclear things, but on the other hand, popes are used in their ceremonies to show that to show the progress. So again, you cannot miss cabbages on the chart table of the Pennsylvanian people, especially on the first day of the year. So cabbages there symbolize money. So which means collards, those cabbages leaves, I came to realize that there are sometimes seems like money. So that's why I thought that they use those collards, leaves of cabbages to symbolize that they are expecting to get money. Moving forward, I was supposed to work on my own culture called the Abasinga as well. So in our culture of Abasinga, there are some foods that we used to eat and symbolize some things. So in our culture, you cannot take like 2 days without eating sweet potatoes with beans. So sweet potatoes and beans are eaten in our culture on in our clan of our singer to show to sh- to show the sweetness of the family. So as the potatoes have their own sweetness, it means that for the family that doesn't need to find the sweetness aside. They have to make sure that they have to to have their own sweetness, whereby this can facilitate the two married people not to cross away their wives or their husbands. So again, we used to drink banana wine or banana beer. So in our culture, it is believed that banana beer helped the person who have commit like crimes. So who are misunderstanding each other. So banana beer is there to help them re, reunify 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 themselves. So how it is done is it is in this way. So if I have misunderstand with you, um, we find someone to join us. So if he came and we negotiate about the crime that we have commit, and then we bring like 10 people to hear what we have done, to hear what wrong we have done, and then help us to unify each other, and then afterwards, after the problem have solved, then we take like 2 jerrycans of banana beer to drink to show, and their banana beer is regarded as the sign to show that we have solved our problems among ourselves. Thank you so much. That was that what I was supposed to present in our culture. So, as a leader in this group, as I have a task to work on my culture and two cultures away, so I have managed to pass through resources. reading well what their symbolism as foods between the Hindu and Pennsylvania, and even my own culture. So I have organized the informations, and I'm sure what I have what I have proved as totally right. So that's what I've been working as a group leader of my three menus. So I may welcome any question from my group members. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Gashima, for mentioning more about cultures, Hindu cultures, or his own culture. I really like the way you explained that. So, can you give us like some similarities between those our cultures and your culture? Also, this is the first question. Also, the second question, I can ask you, uh, what is your contribution as a group member of this group? Also, how have you managed to get those information about Hindu culture? Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. It is there for asking me the best question, and you tend me to tell you what I have written. So, firstly, you have been asking the similarities between my culture and those two cultures. So I came to know both my culture and those two cultures. They use food to symbolize something that happened in the, the in their clans. So, for example, we use sweet potatoes to show that the family have to find their sweetness within themselves. And even in Hindu wedding ceremony, they eat cumin seeds to show that they will have sweetness and the bitterness in their life. Again, as a group reader, you have been asking where I got the information about those cultures as well as I didn't arrive here. So I have forgotten that I ever arrived in India, and I had a chance because I arrived there since the person that I was going to visit had a marriage. So and then I sit with a person who was called the Dev, and he was able to explain me everything that is happening. So for the side of Pennsylvania, so I ever told you that in 2018 I was working in Kigali. So in the same fence I was living together with a person from Pennsylvania. So since we was talking about how Muslims hate pigs, he became angry, and I asked him, "Ah, my friend, why are you becoming angry?" And he responded to me that, "Ah, I, I don't like people who hate pigs, and I hate them for sure." And I asked, "You guy, why?" And he told me why they ate pigs, and I came to be on his side because I knew that pigs symbolize something important in
Culture.
their culture,
Wow.
and from there he told me of why he used to eat cabbages as well. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Gashima. I really enjoyed your answers.
Okay.
uh,
Also, I forgot to tell you how I got my information because I also been alive in those countries, in United States. So on Trinity Portrait, as I've been saying before, um, they have portrait culture as gift of giving. So I have to get those information. I have my brother-in-law who is from Alaska. So he told me more about the significant culture. Yeah, so I get to know different things, what portrait means and what symbolize in their culture. They also he also shared me kind of food they used to eat in the past as in Trinity culture. So I get to know those information. I also made internet research. Finally, I've got to know that they are what he told me and what I've searched on internet. They're very kinda close. So I get to know. I get to collect them and put together and find that it is like the one. So also getting at football games, I have my cousin called Frank in United States in Michigan. He told me that before going to see football games, they pack different foods and drinks so that before arriving in the stadium, they share those kind of food and socialize before going to fund their team. So with that, I also made internet research so that I can compare what he told me and what I found as on internet, and I tried to put together and found that what he told me it is true. On my culture also, because I am the one in those culture in our Nignia culture, I have made I have find that because I'm including in this culture, I already know more information about my culture. I also asked my grandfather, my grandmother, and I've come to know different information. I put together and I found that it is what I found is true. So thank you so much. Is what I have found as different menus.
Thank you very much, Irumba, for giving us more information about how he found his information about different cultures. Uh, Also, as a team members, for every individuals, as a group, uh, every members managed to give his or her own ideas as his contribution in this group. Also, before leaving, to avoid forgetting of our names, we can start here by saying our names again.
So my name is Claude Irumba.
Also, my name is Elise Arimana.